That's right. I caught up with Jim Farley a little earlier, it has to be said, and he, of course, is not only the Vice President of Ford, he's also the President of Global Markets as well. And earlier it was very interesting to hear what he had to say about the issue of tariffs. This, he says, is an issue that has been really made a huge impact for Ford across the board, and certainly given his position, he's one to know. He says it's causing significant headwind for Ford, and it's certainly something that is a huge issue for the company moving forward. Here's what he had to say when I chatted to him a short while ago. Jim, we've just had the launch of the Explorer. How important is this car for Ford in the short term?
It's critical for us as a company, but especially in China. This is one of the two new vehicles we're going to be localizing in China at the end of this year. And the three-row market for us, the Edge was such a hit for us as a three-row product in China. And that Edge is, you know, we don't make it available anywhere else in a three-row, and only two rows here in North America. So three-row business at Ford is really important. And this new Explorer with its capability, rear-wheel drive, performance version, hybrid, you know, it's going to be a real important vehicle for us as we localize in Chongqing.
In terms of the China market, how important is that in terms of Ford's vision going forward?
Well, China is the signature of our corporate growth. I mean, China is essential for Ford Motor Company going forward. We've invested heavily already in vehicles, 50 by 2025, and those are just starting to come out now. Our vehicles are relatively old in China, and so this refresh that will go across our lineup, we have 10 new vehicles just this year. It's really important for our growth. We've had a lot of challenges last year in China, and it's really related to the dealer profitability and the age of our products. We fixed all that in 19. The focus is now in showrooms, as is the Escort and the new MKC. They're all selling really well. The dealer's profitability is improving. Despite the challenges in the market, in the overall Chinese market, we're growing. And we expect that growth sequentially month after month to continue this year for the next couple years.
In terms of, obviously at the moment we have this trade dispute between China and the US. Yep. What have you made of that, and what is your message?
Well, the trade dispute has a very significant impact on Ford's business, both here in the US because we export our Lincolns into the market, and so the tariff makes it a lot more expensive. And we actually had planned to import some China-made vehicles into the U.S. for the first time, which we were really excited about, like the Focus Active. And tariffs, you know, they add unpredictability to your business planning, and they add costs that customers aren't willing to pay for. So we've been really clear to both governments that we want to find a resolution, because it's a significant headwind for Ford's business. The good news is that you know, we feel that there's progress being made by both governments. The China tariff has been reduced to 15% through March. We don't know what will happen after March, but we're very optimistic that the governments recognize the importance of the trade between both countries, and for the auto industry, for jobs in both countries, how important it is.
Looking further forward, seemingly a lot of the car manufacturers now lining up in terms of electric vehicles, autonomous vehicles. Obviously at the moment there's the short term, isn't there, and yep, you know, the SUVs. Where's Ford vision in terms of that?
Well, we've doubled down on electric cars. We've committed to spending $11 billion. We have more than 15 models coming to China, all electric. Maybe a little different than other companies, we'll also bet on hybrid. The new Explorer comes with a hybrid. We've announced all of our U.S. SUVs will come with a hybrid, but they're different than hybrids in the past. We really think that hybrid should, you know, is going to change to more capability. So our new Explorer Hybrid, for example, can tow, can go off-road. A lot of hybrid utilities can't even go off-road, which is kind of strange. But our electric bet is a little different than our competitors. We really see opportunity for the company to electrify our most iconic models. Electrify Mustangs and F-150 and our pickup trucks. Electrify our utilities, not just with hybrid, pure electric. In fact, our first pure battery electric at Ford will be a performance utility.
And in terms of further ahead, autonomous vehicles, I know we're seeing different features being put on the cars already, but in terms of that becoming much a reality, we saw in the presentation that there was talk about testing already, but where are we with that?
Well, first of all, the Chinese government has been very explicit about, the importance of AI as a capability for the country. And we're already seeing an incredible partial automation being rolled out in China. And Ford is right there, with automated parking and a lot of valet parking, a lot of features like that. We think are really key. Look, our vision as a company, as a smart vehicle, smart world, automation, even partial automation, is a big part of that. We're going to make our vehicles more and more automated to help drivers be safer and save cost. And that's aligned with the Chinese government, emphasis on AI. As far as pure full autonomy, we're working with Baidu in China. It's a great partnership. It goes beyond level 4 automation, but we really see that technical team helping us deliver a new fully automated technology. We're already testing with Argos algorithms and automated system in the U.S. in Miami, and of course in Detroit and in D.C. And we are continuing to see a lot of progress in our level 4 automation program, and it's definitely coming.
Jim Farley, the Executive Vice President for Ford there. Now, it has to be said, Ford do remain bullish about the upcoming year. Here at this auto show, they did launch 2 new cars, the Explorer as well as the Mustang GT500. That's the car, the red car you can see behind me. This is the fastest street-legal Ford car they say that they've ever released. It can go from 0 to 60 in around the mid 3-second range. That's, of course, depending on traffic.
Exciting stuff. So Dan, what else is making headlines this year at the Detroit Auto Show?
Yeah, there's a whole host of cars that have been launched here. Today is actually the industry day. It means that executives, dealerships and the like can come and examine and look at what cars are going to be on the various forecourts over the course of the next year or so. And it has to be said that away from all of these, the launches of these various cars, there's also the issue of what next? Where is the auto industry about to move to? And of course, we heard from Jim Farley there talking about the electrification process and the autonomous vehicles and how that the automobile as a whole will change over the course of the next few years. And certainly the buzzword at this show centers very much on the electrification, the EV cars that are set to be launched over the course of the next year or two. The likes of Volkswagen say they're going to launch some 15 purposely made electric vehicles by 2025. Ford and Lincoln say they are going to have electric vehicles across the range of all of their models. And that goes along with the likes of Cadillac that say that they are looking to compete with the likes of Tesla at the high-end market of electric vehicles. So this is certainly something we're going to see in the very near future. Each of these car markets, each of these car brands really looking to launch an assault on the electric car market. And that is something that we will look to delve into in more depth on tomorrow's show.
All right, great coverage. Thank you so much. Dan Williams there at the Detroit International Auto Show.